What's up, guys? I wanted to talk about retiring in 5 to 10 years using real estate or replacing your income, creating passive income in 5 to 10 years using real estate and truly creating wealth. There's a lot of people out there talking about creating assets and businesses, um, and the sad fact to me is that they're just small business owners and they're still working just as much. They're not doing a 9 to 5 because they're working 5 to 10. Well, okay, that's less hours, but I'd rather be at my home with my family at that time. So I truly think that real estate creates that kind of lifestyle that people are looking for, the kind of lifestyle that makes you so you can travel. I'll give you an example. 3 years ago, my wife and I took a trip to Switzerland, and we ended up going to France and Italy. We took our 2 kids that we had at the time. We went for just over 2 weeks, and our real estate was perfectly fine. I had my phone, but we had property managers. They could get in contact with me or my brother. They could email me. I could call them. They could call me, whatever. But I was able to do the same stuff I would have done here in Switzerland and in Italy and in France. So my family was able to see the world, well, Europe, and I was able to travel. So here's some of what I'm thinking. Trying to keep it simple. My thoughts are, I wish somebody had told me to do this at age 20. So instead of renting, if somebody had said, hey, figure out how to buy, whether you gotta get a loan from somebody gift you some money, but buy something. Ideally a multi-unit, like a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex, something like that, where you live in one side and rent out the other. That would be the best. But even just a 2-bedroom house, I don't know if they have, I guess they do have 1-bedroom houses, they're harder to find, but any kind of house to live in, because if you have the down payment, great. If you've got like an investment money, if you've got money for an investment, then great, but most people don't. So I'm talking to the most people, that if you can figure out how to save up, get 3% down to buy a house, live in it for 6 months or a year or whatever, while you save up for another house, and then move out of the first one into the second one. The first one now is a rental property. Boom, you've got your first rental property. Now, on the front end, there's a lot more things. I've got more videos. I'm gonna make more videos of how to analyze a deal. You wanna make sure on the front end that it will rent and be cash flowing. Doesn't have to be a home run, just has to cash flow. And then you let appreciation, depreciation, just let time do its work. And even with downturns, even with upturns, whatever, like real estate will grow. I think that on average it grows at 4.5%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but check out some of my other videos on the other video on power of leverage, the power of leverage, and it'll explain why 4% appreciation really is 16% return on investment. It's awesome. So the simple idea is buy a house, move, buy a house, move, buy a house, move. Let's say in 5 years, you've moved 5 times, you've got 5 houses. That's pretty awesome. That could literally be 1,500, 2,000, depending on what you're getting, how good you're getting, depends where you live, the profit, cash flow could be different. But for example, I bought a duplex. I didn't live in it. I wish I did. Back in 2014, and then now, so almost 6 years later, it cash flowed, I think, about $400 a month then when we bought it. So we put more down than somebody would that was living in it. But then now it cash flows, I think it's like $900 a month. So that's a huge gain. That's all profit. There maybe taxes went up a little bit, but not that much. And so that's my kind of simple idea. And then as you let's say you were 20 when you started, by the time you're 25, your income should be way higher. So you might be able to start moving into a house, buying a rental property the same year, moving into a house, buying a rental property, or just, okay, you're sick of moving because now you've got a kid or two or wife or whatever. You can just buy a rental property, buy another one. So certainly by the age of 30, certainly in 10 years, you should have 10 plus rental properties, and that replaces most people's income. Um, and there are different ideas of how to get into the rental properties, how to analyze them. I got other videos for that, but just a very simple plan of people always want to know how to get into real estate. I just say just start collecting, just get something and let it work. Don't be stupid. Don't buy, a $500,000 house that's going to only rent for $2,000. Those numbers don't work. I'll go over the 1% rule, or 1% guideline rather. So 1% of the rent should be almost or right at or more than 1% of the purchase price. So if you're buying a $100,000 house, 1% of that is $1,000. So you want the rent to be $1,000 if you're buying a $100,000 house. $200,000 should be $2,000. So they don't always work exactly like that. They can be still profitable with less than that, but it just gives you an idea. Hey, are we in the ballpark? Like I said, a $500,000 house that rents for $2,000 is way less. I don't know, 1/3%. So that doesn't work. It just won't be profitable that way. But either way, that's kind of my simple plan. That I think if more people did that, even just, okay, let's compare to the stock market. People want to put money in the stock market and let it sit there for 20, 30, 40 years and then retire, and it grows at 6% or 8% and it drops 38% in like 2 weeks like we just had. I'm recording this in March of 2020, but stocks or real estate will grow. You've got the power of leverage, you've got the appreciation, you've got the taxes, the less payment for taxes, depreciation. It's just hard to beat. You can look at my other analysis of analyzing real estate, and they're all 25, 30, 40% return on investment. And then if you refinance some, so let's say in 5 years it has appreciated. Let's say it's gone from 150,000 to 200,000. Now you refinance, get all your cash back out. So 20, 30, 40,000, whatever happened, 20, 30,000 back out of a property, and now you can buy another property. Or if you really want, if you're just trying to slow things down, you could sell a few of the properties and pay off one or two of them. However that works. I'm not doing the exact math, but that was another idea that I heard when I was getting started, was buy 10 properties, sell 5 of them, and pay off 5 of them, or something along those lines. That wouldn't work exactly like that, but it was like pay off 1 or 2 maybe. But there's ideas. My point is just get started, get something, start collecting, and let a tenant pay down your loan, let appreciation work for itself, get the tax-free income that with depreciation. I'm looking at my notes. That's what I was looking down to see if there was anything else I wanted to talk about, but there's tons more to talk about. But that's my simple idea. Just do it. Just get something going.